What are the chances of Hamas surrendering?
Zero. First of all, the ignorance embedded within that statement about the nature of Palestinian political organizations and resistance groups, and the willful dismissal of 76 years of history is quite astonishing. But much of the news media and politicians in Western capitals just eat it up. Look, Hamas is not a foreign antibody that was injected into Palestine. It is an indigenous group made up of people whose entire lives were lived in a concentration camp. Whether there's a Hamas or not is not the question. If there wasn't a Hamas, there would be a different organization organized around the same principles that would believe that the Palestinians, and this is true under international law, have a right to armed resistance. So when Netanyahu says that he wants Hamas disbanded and disarmed, or he says he wants the Gaza Strip demilitarized, you don't need to ask Hamas what you think of that. You can ask a plurality of the Palestinian people. In poll after poll, they say it, that the right to armed resistance is a sacred right. And without it, it would mean a surrender of the Palestinian cause of liberation. So this is a side game to talk about eliminating Hamas. If there's no Hamas, other Palestinians will organize under a different banner, and they will wage the same struggle. I think it's also important, Steve, to remember that Hamas is not al-Qaeda. Hamas is not ISIS. Hamas and other armed Palestinian resistance factions in the modern era have not engaged in a single attack outside of the boundaries of historic Palestine. They view themselves as a national liberation movement first and foremost. Yes, they are an Islamic resistance movement, but Palestine is an Islamic society. And you saw the secular, largely secular Palestinian resistance movements of the 60s, 70s, and 80s increasingly transform into having a more pronounced Islamic identity, especially in the aftermath of the Palestinian intifadas, where the true face of Israel was sort of exposed in a very real way to the world. But if we don't understand, and by we, I mean people in the West, whether it's leaders or ordinary citizens that are concerned about the role of their government, if we don't understand and take seriously the cause of national liberation, the cause of a people that are saying that they're fighting to prevent being wiped off the face of the earth, then we're whistling past the graveyard. Because one thing history has shown very clearly is that the Palestinians will not surrender their most fundamental right. The land means something to them. And we take it seriously as a national liberation movement and try to understand what their demands are. This is never going to end.